Hope you're well.
Good morning, Senna. I'm doing well, thank you.
Well, were you able to monitor what happened in Tamale over the weekend?
Yes, I did. The whole day.
What are your impressions?
Oh, it was very impressive. Not only the organization of the event, but the speeches that were delivered were up to the point. From Zanetta Rawlings, who set the tone, through Shamima Muslim, through Fifi Kwete Asidun Ketia, and the conclusion being brought home by former President Mahama. Everything was on point. You see, it's very important that in the current circumstances in which we find our country's governance, we put the record straight. Not only that we delimit false promises and treat our people with the necessary candor. And this is what transpired during the campaign launch of the NDC in Tamale. My only hope is that we move from rhetoric to walking the talk. It is very, very important. Our people are very dissatisfied with the behavior of the political class. And it's about time we restore their faith in democratic dispensation. We have managed to exclude the larger populace from the face of democracy. It's about time we return to basic principles. These were the things that used to irk Jerry John Rawlings. The basic principles of governance is that you deliver social and economic welfare political to the populace, because it is in their name that you hold on to power. You don't hold on to power to benefit yourself, your family, and your cronies, as have been happening, especially over the past 7 years. And in this regard, I find it very refreshing that Kweku Kwatin, who is the member of parliament for, I think, Obuasi, I don't know which of the 2 or 3 constituencies in Obuasi. Is it north or south?
East. Obuasi West, yes. Obuasi West. No, we've lost Doc. We'll try and get Doc back on the line and continue our conversation with him. But he seems impressed with what was said. 2 things he said. That he thinks there are 2 things that need to happen. Politicians need to delimit false promises. He didn't see a lot of false promise on the stage. That as much as possible, the NDC avoided making false promises. The second one is treating the people with candor. Treating the people with candor. Be truthful to them. That expects a lot of that. That what the NDC needs to do going forward is to walk the talk. The talk that they delivered on Saturday. Doc?
Yeah.
We lost
there was a call. There was an interruption.
Okay. Yes. Well, we lost you there. You were talking about what Mr. Honorable Kweku Kwatin has been saying.
Yes. I said it's very refreshing that he is now seeing the need to advocate for political speech that is realistic of the need for candor rather than the deception. Because it has been the characteristic conduct of MPP commentators that they believe in self-glorification of their own mediocre performances and self-denial of the reality on the ground. And I believe that era of deception, of false promises, etc., must come to an end. We have seen over the past 7.5 years the clear deception of Akufo-Addo and Bawumia. Conmen, real conmen. I shall protect the public purse, turn into I shall deplete the public purse. I shall insist on value for money, meaning I shall insist on corruption, on the cornering of the market and economic wealth for myself and my family. What kind of nonsense has been going on? Eh? And to Dr. Bawumia, it is about time he was told that the presidency has no place for jokers, has no place for comics. What does it take Ghanaians for? For all the stupid promises that he's making. I said we are so gullible that we will take everything. Line, hook, and sinker. When I was a student in London, I used to watch entertainment show on TV. And there were these celebrities, they used to come and sing a song. Send in the clowns, send in the clowns. One who keeps turning around, send in the clowns. Send out Bawumia clown, send him out of our life. It's about time Ghanaians realize that.
Look, you're talking about vice president. Serving
Yes.
vice president of the Republic of Ghana.
He's a joker.
He's already
He
at the
doesn't take us
presidency.
serious. He doesn't take us serious. After all the mess that he has done, he is now employing the political strategy of pushing Akufo-Addo under the bus. And Alain Chematin is also adopting the strategy of pushing Bawumia under the bus. They are all of the same political class and tradition. The last time I spoke to you, I told you about the NPP's historical record of management of our economy, mismanagement of our economy that amounts to nothing but borrow, chop the money, sue for bankruptcy, get debt relief, chop the money, borrow some more. It was characteristic of Guzia. It was characteristic of Kufuor, and it's been characteristic of Akufo-Addo. The trend is there. The historical record is there. Ghanaians must pay attention. They must have a historical recall. They must have a historical recall. Can't we see? Can't we read? I used to, when Professor Mills was alive, I used to have a monthly meeting with him. And I used to tell him about my concerns with our borrowing. And he used to assure me, Tony, I know the borrowing is high, but we are borrowing wisely because we are investing. And it turned out to be true. Mahama continued with the borrowing, but invested so that the debts pay for themselves. These people came to borrow, destroy all the shock absorbers that have been set by Mahama, and then chop the money through corruption. Akufo-Addo said he was in a hurry to achieve something, so he set up a 123-member ministry. What did he achieve? Not only that, he ballooned the public pay bill by employing political assistants. And don't forget, historical record is that it was President Kufuor who first introduced this idea of a political special assistant to the ministries to lord it over the public servants. He was the one who started the trend. The trend. Why? Destroyers of our country, nation wreckers. And we keep following, voting them back to power. When I talk, I don't talk too much these days because when I consider these issues, my blood pressure goes up. My blood pressure goes up. But like I said, I hope the NDC is going to walk the talk because I'm a member of the political class and I feel ashamed, terribly embarrassed when the public had this negative perception of members of the political class.
What does the NDC need to do to convince you they are walking the talk you heard on Saturday?
Well, first of all, it depends. As soon as you get power, show us evidence that you mean business. Set up the probes, including all those who fall out of the line on your side. Make sure that everybody is made to face the law. Everybody. 2, prudence. Financial prudence is very, very important because you need to reset the country. Don't think that you are going to be in power for only 4 years, so you do anything by heart. Go steady. Stay one day at a time. Make sure that the resetting of the country is on good course, that you are staying through to power. Talk truth to power. Let the people know what is wrong and how you are going to rectify what is wrong. That is very important. That is the essence of candor.
Having said that, did you have a pick when it comes to the speeches on Saturday?
Oh, yes. Did I have what?
A pick, as in a favorite of the speeches you heard.
Oh, everybody was up on point. Everybody. Aidoo Ketia with this appeal to the constitutional institutions we have set up, that the future of Ghana is also in their hands, and that they should ensure that they do not behave in a manner that seems to bootlick the government of the day. Akufo-Addo and Bawumia have been bootlicked, ass-licked, I should say, by the Council of State, the judiciary, all the constitutional institutions that are supposed to be neutral, independent, and free, have all become subservient to this man who is the very epitome of fascist governance. Heil, Sieg Heil, Akufo-Addo, Sieg Heil.
And then there was, and I'm sure you heard Dr. Zanato Rawlings, who talked about integrity. And also one of the concerns he had was that we are at a stage in our politics where even she fears, even the NDC agents are at risk of being bribed. So was even appealing to them to avoid taking monies to work against their own party. Are you also concerned about the extent of monetization of the politics and how that could affect the next elections?
You see, the NDC prides itself as a social democratic party. I recall in one of our interviews on Radio Sena telling you about when we came to power in 2009 and we held a seminar at Takoradi Poly. And it was supposed to explain to our supporters, especially the grassroots, the essence of social democracy. And I started talking and everybody thought I was doing theory. So the speakers who followed, Kwesi Pratt, Fifi Kwete and others, went on a tirade. You're beating the enemy. Why are you kicking him again? Indoctrinate or conscientize your followers not to do the things that they saw their opponents doing. It's very, very important. It's very important that every member of the NDC imbibe the principles of socialism, because this is what should sustain the NDC. Rawlings was not academically a socialist or ideologically a socialist, but most of his actions had relevance to socialism. That's why he insisted on probity, accountability, and all the other principles that today are enshrined in the preamble of our Constitution. To the extent that the party must be seen to be committed to this, then the party has the greater responsibility of all the organizations and communities in this country. The NDC has the greatest responsibility to live by these principles. So, you shouldn't allow your supporters to imprint what has been the bane of our progress, as observed in the behavior of other political parties. The MPP in particular, chronic capitalism has not benefited this country. Rather, if you want to practice liberal democracy and market economy, then be committed to the principles and do it properly. Not cutting corners, not stealing, not cornering the market for your own parochial interests. These should be the guiding principles. Everybody in Ghana must have a chance. Everybody. And they must all be committed to the rule of law.
Doc, before I let you go, I want to go back to the comments you made about Dr. Baumia. You seem particularly irked by him. Which policies has he proposed that has gotten on your nerves particularly? Because you seem to be saying everything you've heard from him so far. It's not a serious policy that will solve the problem.
Everything that he's been saying over the past 7.5 years has been just too comical. When in 2017, I was interviewed by, I think, Joy FM. And I said the NDC did not take him on at the time when he was propounding his highfalutin economic theories. They spun my statements to say that the NDC could not take him on. Who is he? On name thing. The man is living in his own world. Everything he says is so comical. Look at the recent statement that he is going to arrange for the mobile companies to rent phones to people who will pay 1 cedi, 2 cedi, and so on and so forth. What kind of talk is that? People who do not have jobs, how can they pay rent to own mobile phones, 1 cedi, 2 cedi? And then this rest, I mean, look. Look at his body language. Like he's fighting. He's on stage fighting. He challenged President Mahama, and he's shouting at the top of his voice, so unpresidential. The man is so comical that he shouldn't be in our politics. He shouldn't be invading our homes with his stupid television appearances. Doesn't even have the body language to communicate. Dancing pan logo on the stage and so on and so on. At no point in time have I seen Baumia speaking and he's not so agitated like he's fighting somebody. How can we be embarrassed by such a person as our vice president?
Doc.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for speaking to us this morning. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Dr. Tony Aidoo is former Ghana ambassador to the Netherlands, speaking to us about the NDC campaign launch that happened Saturday. It was at the Jubilee